HS, and they beat us a lot.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
South Carolina, I'm a diabetic.
Yeah.
The reason the copay for my insulin,
Yeah.
I applied for the Medicaid and kicked in, they take like 45 days. So I'm in the shelter, but I'm asking for any contributions to help me get my insulin.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we don't have any
Sorry.
money right now, but have a great day. That's the first time somebody has solicited us for money on the podcast. Yeah. This is a good transition into one of the things that happened to us this week.
Yeah.
So we haven't even mentioned it. This week, we have been walking around East Brooklyn. This is the last of our first impressions walks as well. So we've gone 4 months now, 1/3 of our entire intended project duration, and most of these walks most of these first walks were first impressions walks, which is to say, no theme. Moving forward, we're going to be having a lot of themed walks. But this is just kind of a general survey of different neighborhoods. So right now we're in West Brooklyn. We are in McCarran Park in Williamsburg. But this whole week we were on the east side going through East New York and Marine Park and
Canarsie,
Canarsie.
Bay,
That's
a
right.
little bit, kind of the edge of that neighborhood, but yeah.
And so lots of interesting stuff down there. One of the interesting things is Marine Park. Have you ever been to Marine Park?
No.
Yeah.
It's the biggest park in Brooklyn.
What?
Which I was really surprised because I always thought Prospect Park was the biggest, but it's actually about 20 acres bigger than Prospect Park, but it's more like a nature preserve. Like there's a lot of trails, but there's a lot of salt marshes and, like rock areas. So it's sort of like to keep the wild parts of New York wild is their thing. And it's beautiful. I'd highly recommend going down there. There's tons of hiking trails, and that's basically what it is that you do there. It's not like grassy park, like manicured, designed park. It's more like going out to the beach and like seeing the nature kind of park, which is cool.
It really does prove that New York has everything, because there's also ATV trails out there.
Yeah.
And I nearly got ran over by 3 preteens while walking along an ATV trail. It was
Like
actually,
you do.
that was the one day that it was not rainy enough to be able to walk through that area. Almost every day otherwise, it was either raining or drenched ground. So to walk through the area was to get your feet totally submerged in mud.
Oh God.
So part of the reason that it was making the transition here for solicitation was that there's a bathroom at Marine Park, which is a valued commodity while we're doing these walks. And inside the bathroom this week, I ended up making an acquaintance. He was there every day. His name was Adam. And he set up shop in the bathroom, especially on the rainy days.
So someone was living in the bathroom. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. So the first day I went in there, and there was a man that was just propped up against the hand dryer, and that's fine. Except, so I'm the only other one in there, and the hand dryer is like directly next to the urinals. So I'm using the urinal, and there's a man 3 feet away from me, just kind of like looking at me. And then I wash my hands, and he's up against the dryer, so I'm not going to use it. We're not exchanging any words. At this point, fairly common exchange in New York City. There's just somebody in the bathroom, and it's particularly on the rainy days walking around the city, there are always people in the bathrooms just kind of hanging out.
There was one rainy day, just an aside, a couple weeks ago where it was our first cold rainy day, and I was not super prepared for that. And a couple times Mike went to the bathroom to use the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom to use the hand dryers only. So I understand the feeling now of wanting to just be on the hand dryer on a cold rainy day.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So the way that our route is constructed, we're able to use this bathroom twice. So I came back to that bathroom again, and he was in there, and we started having a conversation a little bit, just because he started getting a little awkward and asking, do I want to use the hand dryer? And I was like, no, that's okay, man, no problem. And at that point, we had broached the the conversation barrier. Tuesday, saw him again. It was not a rainy day. He was outside on one of the benches lounging. We immediately recognized each other. He said, "Hey." I said, "Hey." He said, "If you have any money, I'd appreciate it." And I said, "Okay," and I was like, "I'm going to go use the hand dryer." He was like, "Okay, yeah." So that was day 2. Wednesday, he wasn't around. That was the sunniest day. So wherever he hangs out on the sunny days, that's where he was, I guess. Thursday was the rainiest day that we had, and I went in the bathroom, and lo and behold, he's at the hand dryer again, just sitting on back of it, warming his hands. I had on a whole rig for the rain that day, which included like suspender pants, and a big coat, and so I was contemplating, taking off my clothes a little bit more in order to pee easily, and so I made my way to the one stall that was in this bathroom. And he was like, "Oh no, if you go in there, I have to take all my clothes out of that space." And I was like, "No, that's fine. You don't need to do that then." And so I managed to like unhitch one of my suspenders and take off my coat and just pee in the stall, or not pee in the urinal. And when I'm done, I wash my hands, and then I say to him, "Today I'd like to use the hand dryer." And he was a little concerned, and he was like, "Okay, but I need to push the button for you." So I was like, "Okay." So he kept pushing the button for me while I was drying my hands because he didn't want the dryer to get wet because I had some, wetness associated with the rain. But I mean, it worked out pretty well. As far as I was concerned, it was a fine exchange. I should also say that throughout the week, there were people that were going into the bathroom and then immediately leaving because this man was here and they were concerned about whatever his vibe was. So, but we had found a pretty good rapport. And then the final day, to this point, I hadn't really had any significant conversation with him. I hadn't learned his name. I was leaving our house and I saw a $20 bill on the ground right after, and I was like, "Oh, I immediately know where this is going." So I stuck it in my pocket. It was pretty rainy again. I had on a different outfit. And, 19 miles later, I'm at the Marine Park bathroom. And I go inside, and he's like, "Oh, you're looking good today." And I was like, "Oh, thank you very much." I had on a different outfit, different set of rain gear. And I went to go to the urinal. I don't have to typically go that much when I have to go to the bathroom. Basically, anytime we find a bathroom, we go because
you never know when another one's coming.
Yeah, and the bathrooms in the city close at 4 p.m. So like you really don't want to have a full tank. You want to be able to go as much as possible. And so I'm there, and he's in his spot on the dryer, a couple feet away from me, and I'm like having a hard time getting the pump going. And he mumbles under his breath like, "Do you need me to turn the water on?" And then like stops, like because he knows that I'm just standing there waiting to try and figure out how to get it going. But I eventually do get it going, and I say to him when I'm done, "So do you come here often? Do you like hang out here?" And he we have a little bit of a conversation. Obviously, this conversation is a little bit stilted because there's some sort of mental issue, disability. I don't know what. I kind of think maybe he's schizophrenic or something like that. That was kind of the read I got on it. But it's hard for him to have conversation. So, we were able to, he goes there because it's dry, and apparently nobody really bothers him at the park as far as like the rangers or anything like that. And then I was able to give him the $20 bill. I was like, "Hey, I found something," and as soon as I found it, I thought of you, which must have been a weird conversation for him. I mean, I can only imagine he's seeing a guy in a different outfit completely every day come in and use the dryer. We recognize each other. He's being talked to by, so I don't know what he's thinking I'm going to have in my pocket, but ultimately I have a $20 bill, and he was very pleased that he had a 20 to his name.
I like that end because at first you just said, "I know where this is going," and you were like, "And then I put it in my pocket."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, I guess that's where that was going."
Yeah. And I mean, I told him I was walking a marathon a day, which probably seemed just as crazy to him. And then
he was like, Let me get
Sure
this
you
straight.
are.
You think I'm the crazy one? And you're walking 10 hours a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he was appreciative for the 20. He asked where I was from originally. I said Long Island. I asked where he was from, and I was like, and he didn't understand really. And I was like, like Brooklyn or Manhattan. He was like, Manhattan. I was like, okay. And then we departed, and I suspect we will not see him again. I mean, maybe we will, maybe we won't. But he shortly thereafter walked off to, I guess, a deli or somewhere to find somewhere to spend the $20. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It was an interesting week of learning about Adam.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And probably became more enriching to the experience than if you just hung out around there.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to me, like, we are in a position where we're really dependent on these public spaces of the bathroom, particularly. And especially right now, because, pre-COVID, we thought, oh, well, we could also go to Starbucks, we could also go to whatever stores, go into a bar if we need to use the restroom. Now it's like, it's only the public bathrooms. It's really the only place that we would use. And there's something that I guess I don't even know if I have the words for it, but we're out there, these people are out there, like, it's sort of like, it's like re-leveling the playing field to some degree, where I feel like we have no choice really but to use the bathroom. So like you say, you saw people go in and then see this guy and get freaked out and leave, and it's like, we kind of have to move through that feeling of like, oh, there's someone in here, this makes me a little uncomfortable, what's gonna happen, is this person gonna like attack me or whatever. And like, obviously if there was someone in the bathroom with a knife, we're like, we wouldn't do that, but like, oh, there's someone using the hand dryer to stay warm, that's like just another human that's using the hand dryer to stay warm, and like, that's fine. It's no different than like another human that just happens to be using the bathroom. This person just is maybe homeless or experiencing some sort of struggle with shelter. And like at this very particular moment, we are also 15 miles from our home and have no way to get back except for to walk through the rain, because we've chosen that that's what we're doing. And I don't know, it like creates a connection. Does that make sense?
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it creates a connection between you and this unexpected visitor of life, and you're journeying together through this connectivity of seeing each other repeatedly and having these experiences.
Yeah.
And then I think then this idea of leveling playing field of resources, because if you're not at home, you have to use the same resources as everyone else in your places that are outside of your home place.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're using those places, it becomes very important to share them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had I had another bathroom encounter several weeks back under the Verrazano Bridge. There's this bathroom, and I was again in full rain gear, and there was somebody that was using the hand dryer and just generally like seeking, a space that was dry. And he saw me in my full outfit, and he said, "Oh, that's good. You're looking like you're protected." And I was like, "Yep." He's like, Why seek shelter when you can wear it?" And I was
That's a great line.
All right,
Wes.
have a good night. Or
Wow,
good day.
that's a great line.
Yeah.